Hello! Welcome to AutoCrit's Coffee Break. My name is Bekah Brinkmeier, best-selling author and author coach here at AutoCrit. And today I am so thrilled to be chatting with Joanne Brogan, author of Letters from the Irish Republican Army. This is absolutely fascinating to me. This is a topic that I think we need to talk about more. And so we're going to be diving into Joanne's writing journey. We're going to get some insights that might just help your writing as well. And yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Joanne, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I want to start us off with a topic that unfortunately does impact pretty much every writer at some point, and that is the dreaded writer's block. What is your go-to strategy or mindset shift that you use when you're trying to just break through that feeling of being stuck?
Well, I haven't really set that deadline for myself, so I will oftentimes walk away from it for a little while, sometimes a couple of hours, or go back to it the next day. But I find that I always have something to say.
So, Letters from the Irish Republican Army. Now, this is your current work in progress, correct?
Correct.
And where would you say you're at in that drafting process?
I am pretty far along. I'm going back and tightening up where the quotes are. There's a lot of research from other places that I use in my book to give it credibility. So that's about it. The letters are coming from my heart. I was writing to actual prisoners 40 years ago. I have formed very close relationships with some of them that are still alive. Unfortunately, I know a couple that are not. But there's a fascinating history there, and the struggle for civil rights in Northern Ireland and the struggle for civil rights in the United States of America closely mirror each other. And in fact, there's a book written about just that aspect of my book. But they had the people the IRA finally rose up to protect their people after the graffiti. Some of the graffiti in Belfast in 1969 was IRA equals I ran away. Because they had been dormant for so very long. But after watching some of the atrocities that their own families and their own community were going through, they rose up again, just like the phoenix. Rose from the ashes and get stronger than ever.
Wow. So I guess my question is, I mean, this is an important topic. This is clearly a topic that's very close to you. I can see how much you care about telling this story. Was there a specific moment that came to you that kind of started this writing process for you, that you were like, this is it. This is when I know I need to write this book?
I was literally in bed one night and I turned to my husband and I said, I want to write a book. And he said, okay, go for it. I do have a unique viewpoint having these letters from the prisoners. And so then it became like a mission that I had to tell this story because so many Americans that I spoke to, including close family members and friends, had no idea about the reasons behind the troubles. So
it's true. We spoke offline of that, I had some academic study, but I had a very specific, unusual degree path that would have put me into that study. It's definitely not something I think the average person walking around thinks a lot about. So I think it's important to highlight just all of these series of events and, as you said, how it mirrors
yeah.
some of the events here in the United States.
Yep.
So I'm going to put you on the spot, Joanne, if that's okay. If you had to pitch this book to someone and you had 15 seconds, you met them at the grocery store, they're like, oh my gosh, you wrote a book. tell me all about it, what would you say to hook them?
This happens all the time. I would tell them that I have business cards made up. My husband and I are handing out these business cards. And when people get them, they say, this is tremendous. This is something I don't know about and something that I need to know more about. So,
Fantastic.
yeah.
So, I want to talk a little bit about the actual logistics of writing, because writing a book like this, writing a book like the books I write, it's all a process. We each have our own
Yeah.
unique writing process. Now, you are part of our AutoCrit community.
Yes.
And I would like to know, I guess, how do you use our platform? Do you tend to use AutoCrit more in the earlier stages of your drafting process? So we're catching those big picture issues, or are you a fan of using it kind of for the final polish? I guess, how does AutoCrit fit into your overall writing and revision timeline?
I have adopted it fairly early on in my writing. And so most of the writing of my book has happened on AutoCrit. And
Wonderful.
yeah, I truly appreciate them when they stop me and they say, no, the sentence needs to go this way. And they turn it around and they're right. AutoCrit is right. They did create a better sentence from the phrases, a couple of phrases that I gave them. So I have a degree in journalism, but AutoCrit's much smarter than me.
One of the things that I love about using some of our reports is, I have quite a few titles under my belt now. I've been publishing for a long time, but I have some quirks in my writing process, and knowing that I can double check it using some of our line editing reports, it just gives me some peace of mind, because at this point, things like tense consistency, it's like a mental block. I am always going to run the tense consistency report, because between my ghostwriting and my work, I'm constantly switching back and forth. And you know what? At 3 a.m., when I'm getting my words in, I cannot guarantee that it is exactly the way I want it to be.
My accountability partner related a story to me that she talked to or she read about an author that runs their chapter by chapter 3 times through AutoCrit until they're satisfied with it. Pretty good endorsement.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. I love that this is kind of an integral part of their process, and it's part of our process as well, right? It's like
Yeah, mine too.
this is important. I find that the story analyzer gives me um really necessary feedback, and I like that it's objective, right? It's not if I send it to my beta team and they're like, hey, I don't like your tone here. Instead, it's going to say, hey, your deep POV needs to be tightened. This
Mm,
didn't make sense. Or whoopsie, you have a plot thread that you left open. Was that intentional? And
yeah,
so, one of the things I appreciate is it gives me different things to think about for my work. It doesn't change it for me. Like, it's up to me to keep my creative voice. And I find
right.
that's really important to me too.
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So, one of the things that we hear a lot from our members and our users from our platform is that AutoCrit can give you kind of a increased confidence in being able to write the book. How has AutoCrit, I guess, helped you feel that confidence in your own craft? I mean, you do have a journalism background, as you get ready actually to send this manuscript out into the world.
I have found AutoCrit to be a great partner in writing and double checking me. And a lot of times it's telling me to throw in another comma somewhere. But it's been a wonderful editor for me, and that's how I've used it as an editor to tighten up my work, get rid of all the that's that are unnecessary, and find the adverbs so I can see whether those are necessary or not. It I can't imagine somebody else doing that for me, not without charging me a whole lot of money.
I have learned so much over the years that I've been using this. I've learned so much about what my filler words are, and I don't intentionally put them in. Sometimes I've spoken a lot about the fact that I write via dictation,
Hmm.
a lot. I have filler words that make their way into my manuscript because of that. Having the just overused words, um, ability to highlight those so I can go in and say, that one stays, this is unnecessary,
Yep.
and just quickly go through. You're right. I can have a much better product to give to my copy editor if I go ahead and do all of that first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. So I guess I have a couple more questions for you before we wrap up this session.
Okay.
So what's next for you in your writing journey? Are there upcoming projects? Are you pursuing querying for letters from the Irish Republican Army? Tell me what's coming up.
I don't see a sequel to this book because I take it right through the Good Friday Agreement and post Good Friday Agreement to where Ireland stands today,
Mhm.
um, in the opinion of people that are much closer to it than I am. Um, I've been thinking about doing some short stories. One of them is I was working on the Intrepid Museum in the Hudson River when the plane was landed in the Hudson River by Captain
Oh,
Sullenberger.
oh, wow.
So I was an eyewitness to that. That would probably make a pretty good short story, but not a
I
book.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's kicking around. I also am blessed to have a letter that my father wrote home from World War II about being picked up by a man in a Packard, him and a buddy. Great deal of things about, emphasis on the Packard, and taken to his home for Christmas dinner.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, it's a lovely story, and I'm trying to keep in mind something to do with that. My father was the overuser of quotation marks all through his letters. So I've had to do a lot of editing of his for that reason. But yeah, I'm keeping my mind open to write something else and just hoping that something hits me between the eyes, like this idea did. It suddenly occurred to me, you have to tell this story. So,
Amazing. I have learned over the years that if my muse is insistent that this story needs to be told, A,
mhm.
that's always a good sign, and B, there is absolutely no ignoring it because I will just fixate on it. It will come up again and again and again until I get that story out and into the world. So,
Yep, yep.
it sounds absolutely amazing. I can't wait till this book is on the shelves so that I can read it because this is a topic that I have a personal interest in as well, and I would
Right.
absolutely love to read it. So I want to just thank you so much, Joanne, for sharing your insights, sharing your work with us, and coming on for coffee break for me today.
It's nice to speak one-on-one with you, Becca, because I've attended so many of your classes. So this is a nice way to actually meet face to face.
It is. Oh my goodness. Yes. As I told you, and I've told others before, being able to interact with our members and our students and all of the writers on our platform, whether it's through Novel 90 or the coursework on AutoCrit Academy or just hanging out in community, it is absolutely a highlight for me because I love hearing what everyone else is working on. I love getting to know everyone. So thank you again for being part of the AutoCrit community and for sharing your work with us. And
Thank you, Becca.
you are so welcome. I am going to say we don't have social media links for Joanne yet, but you are going to want to remember Joanne Brogan, Letters from the Irish Republican Army. I do expect we will see that book on a shelf, hopefully someday soon. And as soon as we do, we'll make sure to let you know. And thank you to everyone who is tuning in. Keep writing, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye bye.